Hello and welcome to Season 3 of and Episode 15 of Relics of Ore, the show about Guild Wars 2, and the Guild Wars community, as well as an obscene number of bunny trails. I'm your host, Shongaku, also known as Erik, as you can see. You can follow us at Relics of Ore on Twitter. You can check our website out, relicsofore.com, if you're interested. We have some forums there, which our editor-in-chief, Kate, regularly checks. I check once every 6 months, and then disappear again, because that's how I do things. Tonight, as we have a massive patch that we are going to barely touch on because we haven't really had time to digest it totally, but I am joined by the ever-awesome Evee, as well as Trivierre and Lissah from Dragon Season, who is So, as a quick introduction, apparently I was talking to some guys who are watching this show, and they were saying, we have no clue who these people are. Why am I listening to them? So the reason is, first of all, I have no idea why you're listening to me. But Evee has a high experience in PvP and high-end PvP play. Yes, in Guild Wars 1 at least. And so he can analyze our SPVP. Triv has mastered raiding in WoW, and so she got bored. It was like, I got this. And so now she's playing Guild Wars 2, because it's not as insane.
I also raided with Triv, just saying.
Yep. Yeah. You guys were server-first raiders, weren't you?
Hmm?
You guys were server-first raiders?
Well, I saw world first, and then we were server-first with her, so.
So there we go. Highly competent. And Lissah from Dragon Season, a Guild Wars 2 baby.
No, I played Guild Wars 1.
Oh, excellent. Never mind.
For 6 years.
I'm out. Why am I here? No. Okay, but you've also played WoW.
Yeah, I was also a high-end raider. So.
Oh, see? I was not a high-end raider. I made it to the second-to-last boss in Old War once, and that was, like, as good as I got. And I was like, I'm supposed to use my scepter again? I'm, like, playing a warlock. I have a sword. That's, like, the most spell power there. I can't go up and hit the guy. And wands and stuff. Anyways, I had no clue what I was doing. And I still don't. Which is why we are doing this show. So, to get started, SPVP, has anything happened this week, Evee?
I found out that there's a 24-hour stream.
Yes, there is.
And apparently there's a lot of Ranger hate.
Really? Why?
Oh, yeah. Because they're like face roll right now.
When have they not been face roll, though?
Well, they were kind of bad.
At the beginning,
well, I know, but they were easy to play. It wasn't like they were ever super difficult.
True.
Yeah, now they're easy to play and good. So it's just like...
I think that's fair, as long as it's not overpowering to the point where it's stupidity.
They do like 500 healing. Like, if you set them up right, they can do 500 area healing. And that is
amazing.
Ridiculous.
That's beautiful. I approve.
Like, a staff ellie can't do that.
That's because staff ellies are not as awesome as rangers.
You almost said necro.
Also, with this update, they changed the mini-map, which Life Spartan actually pointed out in chat. Thank you for reminding me.
So what does that do? I mean, tell us what happened and what that does to SPVP.
They locked the minimap, it seems. I mean, vaguely, like the way they worded it. So you can't, like, scroll your minimap or zoom out or anything. So it makes on-the-fly strategizing a lot more difficult.
Now, have they locked it to where it's zoomed all the way out so you can see the entire map? Or have they locked it just around your character?
I haven't seen it yet because I haven't got a chance to actually SPVP. I'd assume that they didn't lock it all the way zoomed out because that can be very, like...
Oh, it's a whole map according to Live Spartan.
Oh, well then.
There we go.
Okay. Then that's a quality of life change and people are just going to have to get used to it.
Interesting. So basically, you're able to just glance down and see who's where, and try and adjust. Interesting. Did they do that for the spectator mode as well? Do we know?
No idea. I need to go in and look at it. I mean, this is part of the problem with, oh, it's on Tuesday and all this whatnot. So.
We'll get back to you guys on how that has affected things. Moving on, though, there's quite a bit of living story stuff that's been going on. First of all, we don't want to go too in-depth because we don't want to spoil anything for those of you who haven't played it yet, but you need to do the closing ceremony. If you haven't done the closing ceremony...
Why haven't you?
It's awesome. Go do it now. Like, I thought the opening ceremony was good. The closing ceremony, fantastic. So, yep. I am looking forward to seeing, and it has some great lead-ins to whatever is going to be happening next, so I'm excited.
I'm going to make a very vague statement. I want that hairstyle.
It was pretty cute. I agree. I know what you're talking about, Evie.
Yes. Speaking of which... Moving on to patch... Actually, we're going back to patch notes. Apparently, this is what we do. We randomly bounce. But we'll be getting to discussion topics soon enough. Wait, did we move everything to the end? You changed the patch notes on me. Someone. I don't know. I'm blaming everyone else.
Oh, so, I didn't touch them. I just added a few things and let you move it around.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the patch. We're going to move into some interesting stuff that was on the actual that's been on the forums, some things that we've talked about, and then we're going to have some crazy speculation about what's coming up. The one thing that we can say about the living story is that Scarlet is now officially revealed, and she apparently has a cute hairstyle that both Chris and Lissah want.
Or is she revealed?
Or is she? I think since she's running around and chasing my character because she's apparently in love with him, we can be pretty... I mean, it's got her name on it. Yeah, I was running around in Frost... Where was that? Lonar's Path, Triv? Past Triv?
Yeah.
Yeah,
all over Lorner's.
And I go running somewhere, and she just poured up and hit me. And then she'd disappear away. And I was taught in junior high that's how a girl tells you that she likes you.
Yeah. For sure. That's definitely how it works.
Oh, man. So, I think she has been revealed. Okay, so, for those of us who do not think she has been revealed, Lissah, who do you think Scarlet is?
I don't know yet. I think we need to see how it plays out.
Evie?
And see where it goes.
Are you pretty confident that this is Scarlet, that we now have seen her, and that she is now engaging us as a character?
I think it's Scarlet, just not actually Scarlet.
You think she's using like a glamour or something to make herself look different?
Life model decoy? Triv, what do you think?
I think that, I don't know, she is a Sylvari, so I don't know, Nightmare Court? I know that sounds really lame, but, you know, that's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah.
Maybe Soundless, but not Nightmare Court. I mean, someone that, like, her background makes her look incredibly intelligent. Someone that intelligent isn't going to put themselves in the fray. It's just not going to happen. At least not believably to me.
Yeah, well, except a lot of the stuff points to her being a Joker-esque villain. And the Joker is as smart as Batman. But he constantly puts himself in the fray because he enjoys it, because it's a challenge. It's a challenge beyond just the physical, just the mental. It's a physical as well.
So my question is...
I see her more like a Moriarty.
Triv, what do you see?
If she's supposed to be the Joker, then who's supposed to be Batman? That's really what the question is.
Haven't you been seeing my tweets about the Tyrion Justice League?
Obviously, I never check Twitter, sorry.
Oh my goodness, I've been tweeting about the Tyrion Justice League, and speaking of which, if you guys have your picks for a Tyrion Justice League, you should totally tweet at Relics of War. Because I want to know what your guys' picks for that is. My personal picks were Rox and Bram, and Lord Farron. Let's see, who else? I also had Agent Ziri, because she's awesome. And Is that all of the... Canark would show up and be like the anti-hero type guy, the bad boy on the team. And then Suwash would fly their airship. Because he's a captain now, and he's got a crew. And he'd he'd steal an airship from the Aether Blades when they attack his pirates. And then he'd be like, "Boo, the Aether Blades are not being nice." And then he'd get up and beat the crap out of them, and then take over their airship.
And Tybalt is the wise voice from the Beyond.
Did you read Spirits? Spirits picks included Steamverse Tybalt.
So many
Clockwork Apples.
Oh, Clockwork Apples would be cute.
I think Tybalt, coming back.
And I just need a reference, and no one understood it.
I got the Clockwork Apples.
She has nice apples. He got
he
nice.
Loves apples.
Or Clockwork Oranges. That's good, Evie. Multi-layered there.
Because it's Tybalt and apples.
Plus, he's from the Steam universe.
That was good. I approve. So, Trivierre, who would you have on the Tyrian Justice League if you could pick anyone?
I don't know. I won't lie. I'm not actually really good with the lore because I am not playing the game that much anymore. I haven't done the story in about 6 months, so I sadly can't contribute to this part of the conversation.
Evie, who would you want on the Tyrian Justice League?
Majorie Delacroix.
Okay. Good counter to Lord Farron. Who else? I mean, okay, so you have one. Pick one of each race.
One of each. Oh, man. Majorie Delacroix, of course.
Steamverse.
A projection of Snaff.
Actually, Snaff is probably still inside of Kralkator's head. He's not dead.
What?
What?
Vrabin's theory. He was connected to Kralkator's head to Kralkator's mind when his body was killed, but his brain was in Kralkator's head. Snaff isn't dead, guys. When we kill Kralkator, Snaff is going to reassert control.
You really need to find your tinfoil hat when you say that stuff.
Yeah, you really need your tinfoil hat.
I'll be back. All right, Evie, keep working on it.
That made my face just...
Just this... Okay, so Snaff. Let's see, Char.
You found it.
That's perfect.
I keep it right near my computer.
I can't.
Okay, Lissah?
I would go with Zoja, because I think she's adorable, and I think she could be like the Iron Man of the group. She could have the golems and stuff. That would be awesome. And let's see, I'm trying to think of who else I'd like. Keith could be like the Hawkeye. That'd be pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, so you would just basically say Destiny's Edge, kind of.
Yeah, to the point, but not like everyone. I mean, there's a few others I'm sure you could include, but I just like those two a lot. And you don't see them in the story a whole lot outside of the dungeons.
So when I tweeted it, actually, John J. Ryan tweeted back at me, and he suggested Lord Farron as Iron Man from the Avengers. He wanted the Avengers instead, because his suggestion was Lord Farron
as well
as Iron Man in a Speedo.
Oh.
I agree.
Yeah. So it was kind of a funny thought, and that was interesting. That happened.
Aaron.
So hopefully we'll see more of that, and they are definitely beginning to build the group. I mean, we've seen more of Rox and Bram, and I think that they're going to be sort of part of like whatever group grows out of this. I think we've seen perhaps the Azura show his head. That's going to be like the Azura that's going to be backing us up, maybe.
Vorp.
Vorp? You think maybe Vorp might? Yeah. You think Vorp might start playing a bigger part, or do you think he's just a plot character?
The first thing I noticed about that particular Asura is that his name is really weird for an Asura.
Isn't it VORPP?
Yeah.
It's also more than 4 characters.
Well, yeah, but no, they have 5 characters.
How often does that happen, though?
That's true.
Except for
Snaff
Snaff.
has 5. Yeah, fine.
SNAFF. Snaff. Zolja. Doesn't she have? Oh no, she's got 4. The Apothecary has more than 5. Oh wait, no, he's mine. He doesn't exist. Yet. Someday. Alright, moving on though. They have done some interesting things to the game, and yeah. One of the things is they have changed karma significantly, and several people have been somewhat disturbed about this. Lissah, what's been going on with karma?
Oh yeah, they basically just took it out so where you can like use the boosts and basically go in and drink all your karma at the same time and get like double just about or 50% more. And now they've just given it a flat like 45% on top of what it was originally. So it's not quite as good, but it's not terrible.
No.
I don't think it's horrible.
Yeah, Colin Johansson did say that they were supposed to be telling people beforehand, and they didn't really communicate it. And so so don't use your big karma yet, because they are going to put in a way for you to get back to that old 90% karma increase that you could for at least a limited time before taking it out. So keep your eyes open for that. That will be happening. They also added liquid world versus world XP. Which is interesting. So it's essentially karma, except when you're in world versus world, you get it off of enemy drops and off of out boxes and stuff, and it's a boost to your world XP, which is going to be pretty good. They also increase the amount of world XP you get for doing things in WV, so you'll be able to advance and rank faster. So do you guys think big change, little change? Nah.
I really like the liquid change for World v World XP, because that means that people that want to play on their mains because they're a certain World v World rank can do so, but if they want to level another character, they can just be like, oh, I can just give this character everything, unless they're soulbound, and then like what?
They are account bound.
Okay, well then, point stands.
Okay, so that's actually probably their method. I know that they were saying they wanted to do that, and so that is probably at least the first step in sharing XP across your entire account for WW.
That would also mean if you wanted to try a character out in the WW arena, per se, you could bring another character, an alternate character, and not be punished by it, because you could just give the whatever to your favorite character.
Oh no, my Shockwave player crashed. There we go. Yes. So that'll be good to get people leveled up. They have also done something huge in PvE. Triv, what have they done?
I'm trying to think of what specific thing you're referring to.
You can see lots of people now.
Oh, that. Yes, culling. You can go to Lion's Arch and see all the 250 people that are standing in one spot by the Mystic Forge now.
It's pretty amazing.
Or Black Shadows, if you know.
If
or
you
shadow people
low.
if you want nightmares. Yes, you could do that too.
I don't really like it because of the names everywhere. Like, I logged in and I was like, oh, names went everywhere. Oh, God. I had to turn it all off. I was like, no, this is too many names. It was killing me. I couldn't stand it.
And the worst part for me is, like, for some reason, I don't have, like, NPC names on, but if I'm, like, more than a certain distance away and they're, like, supposed to be on my screen, I still see the NPC name bars.
I saw that too.
And it's so annoying.
That is annoying. I don't have NPC names on.
I have all my names turned off because I can't stand seeing them. I'd rather just not see the model.
Yeah.
It's like,
So along with this, there has been along with the living story, there's been a huge series of events that are going on. Evie, what events are going on right now? What is this massive thing that people are running around the world doing?
chaos portals, because, chaos. So apparently, Scarlet is just like, oh, hey, I'm going to invade the world, except for places that are under level 25 and South Sun and Ore.
I like how she's like,
it's very selective.
So
fantastic.
These places will randomly get invaded. It'll be one zone on each server, like, presumably at random, but there might be a pattern to it. We just don't realize it yet. And This event will take place over like what 45 minutes, something like that, where portals will start spawning and just enemies and enemies will start pouring out of the new twisted abominations that come from my nightmares. Aetherblade pirates, Molten Alliance mobs, and what am I missing?
Wait, there's Molten Alliance guys showing up?
Yes.
Holy smokes, she got the Molten Alliance back together? Really?
Yes.
Wow, good for her. She's very industrious and skilled at convincing people, which is why I think she's like the Joker.
Oh, and the Steam World things, that too. That's what I forgot.
Oh, that's
So
right,
she
because
has
she's
access
using
to
Steamverse tech.
Wow.
That's what her
she's
portals
using
are built
Clockwork
out
tech,
of.
but she has access to Steamworks stuff too.
Well,
So
when we
she's
went
like,
to the first portal that she opened, you walk up to it and you're like, that's Steamverse, that's not Clockwork.
It really makes me wonder if she herself is from a Chaos portal.
She could be. She could
oh,
be.
I'm convinced that she's from another world.
Oh, could she be? Could she be from? Assuming she is, in fact, the Sylvari that we're seeing. Could she be from a war universe where the Nightmare Tree won?
It's possible.
I don't know. She doesn't seem very nightmarish to me. She's just
Yet.
like
It's
not
true,
equal,
because she
like,
doesn't care about the Pale Tree at all. Like, this is not an issue of Pale Tree.
mhm. She was Nightmare Court. She'd been wanting to cut down the pale tree and be like, me, not attacking DR.
So what we need
Which
to
she
do...
actually calls DR, and that kind of confused me.
I thought that was hilarious. Apparently everyone in the game calls it DR, because Rox called it DR too. So apparently what they did is they took the MMO player's speech where you're like, oh yeah, we're going to DR, and they turned it into actual dialogue. I thought that was fantastic, actually. So, you've got DR, and you've got Divinity. So do you get like a Jersey accent when you say that? DR?
That's not Jersey.
I know, I'm not Jersey. I'm sorry.
You could just go full pirate
I'm
and
from
say
Alaska.
DR.
DR! Even though it's not the Corsair town. Glad you're having a good time, Lissah. So,
yeah.
apparently...
There are Aether Blades.
There are Aether Blades. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of awesome things that they added in, they have added a twisting chaos portal device. A twisted watchwork portal device, which apparently you get the recipe for. You can make. It's super expensive. You know what it does? It teleports you to a random place in the world.
That might be rewarding.
That might be rewarding.
Or really dangerous. Or both.
Which
Sorry.
Go
Let me
ahead,
reiterate. You have to craft an item, which you then consume once, which may possibly teleport you to a random location, which might be good.
So...
Or it could be terrible. Or it could be good and terrible.
I have to say that pretty much the best idea that someone put up on... that actually got me excited for this is one person on Reddit said they are going to roll a Doctor Who-based character, and who's just going to randomly go someplace. What my character, the Apothecary, is supposed to be doing anyways. Like, I already have a Doctor Who character. So now I just need to have someone become the companion that travels around through the portals with him, and I'm going to create a miniseries for Relics of War.
Well, given the experience I've had with my Mesmer, I would probably teleport into a rock.
That counts as dangerous. But not rewarding.
He's got a point there. Now, I heard
unless it's like a
from
rock
Spirit,
of like pure platinum.
I heard from Spirit they're broken. They don't take you anywhere right now.
Oh, and they're so expensive.
So, you should
Maybe that's why it's
wait.
mysterious.
Speaking of which, it requires dark matter. Where did you get globs of dark matter?
Yeah, I'm wondering about that.
No idea.
Do you
Is
have
it from
to?
the outer dimensions? I don't know.
Well, Go ahead.
I'm
Evie.
assuming it comes from the funhouse.
I'm assuming as well that you have to clear the funhouse.
I'm expecting a little mini nibbler, actually, and that's where it comes from.
Oh my goodness, yes. Feed all of your trash into Nibbler, and he just out comes dark matter. For those of you who don't know, you guys should probably watch, look up Nibbler and what's that show that it's on?
Futurama.
Yep. Good times.
Oh. So, very cool stuff, and there is a funhouse that... Has anyone been able to participate in the funhouse yet?
No, I haven't been around.
You have to unlock it first through the living story,
Yes.
and it's a little bit of a process.
It takes yeah, it does. There is some cool stuff that walks you through. PSA, there is a big issue with people trying to drive Doliacs and talk on personal holographic communication devices. There have been just crashes and traffic jams in the mists, and I saw one, trader driving his way to Lion's Arch. He just went off the road and aggroed 30 spiders. It is a real problem. You should please do not talk on your personal holographic communication device and drive. It's a problem. Thank you.
Also, do not send tells while driving. That's also very irresponsible.
It is true. That is a terrible thing. So, moving on to things completely unrelated to the current events, we are going to go into what I am currently calling Colin's Corner, which is basically I go and find things that Colin Johansson said on
the forums.
On the forums, and then I read them to you, and you guys analyze it. So the first one is Colin Johansson talked about jumping puzzles, and he said jumping puzzles along with mini dungeons will be some of the locations that begin rewarding ascended crafting materials once crafting to 500 goes live. This is intended to help make these areas more rewarding and fun to go back to and play. So, what do you think about that, Trev?
I think it depends, because every time they say more rewarding, I always get apprehensive. I would love to go to mini dungeons and stuff again because they're fun. But at the same time, I don't know. Everybody has a different idea when it comes to the word rewarding, you know?
Yeah.
And...
Evie? Oh.
Sorry.
Yes. No, that's okay.
I also want to know if harder jumping puzzles will reward you more than easier jumping puzzles.
And I wonder if they'll base it off difficulty of jumping puzzle or zone or level, area level.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even take that into account. That's a good point.
Evie, what's your opinion on this? Turning them into essentially crafting nodes, material nodes.
Well, on one note, I actually kind of like it because it shows that they're going to at least somewhat spread out the acquisition of these materials. On another, it's just more time gating.
Is it necessarily more time gating? Because, I mean, you have inherent time gating with crafting anyways for gathering, orichalcum.
Well, still, I mean, a time gate's a time gate. It's just more time gates. Yay.
Yay. Lissah?
Well, I think when I read this, the thing that concerned me the most is it going to be per tune or is it going to be per account per day, farming each of these puzzles? Because there are people who have so many tunes that they could just sit and farm this all day and get a huge advantage over people who don't necessarily have, 50 billion alts. So I'm wondering if they're going to gate it that way as well, because I wouldn't mind if it's once per account per jumping puzzle or, thing per day. But if it's you can do it on every single one of your tunes, I'm going to be tempted to do it on all 4 of my 80s every day.
I'd be really surprised if it wasn't account bound.
Really surprised. I would too, but the other issue that I thought with this is it going to be a node at the end of the puzzle, or is it going to be just a % rate of drop from the chest? Which way is it going to go? Yeah, but what's the chance that you will or won't get it?
It'll be
so that's something to see.
More RNG with a time gate.
Yay!
But you don't like crafting anyways, Evie, so you're not going to have to work with it anyways. You're just going to be random throw this on the trading post, walk away.
I will never get ascended gear if it's not available in some way other than crafting.
It's called the trading post.
I've accepted that. I'm also broke, so...
Which is interesting. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Specifically, why you are broke. No, actually, we're not going to talk about that. But Colin also... Oh, go ahead, Evie.
Well, basically, that is what we're going to talk about.
It is kind of. So one of the things that has been massive and has been kind of an issue, I know you talked about it last episode, Lissah, is the Champions Farm. And Colin said the behavior we want is is people to join up together to play events, but they want to succeed those events and win them. We never want to be in a state where intentionally failing an event is more rewarding or better for players. We're not going to take a giant hammer to champion loot. We love it and love seeing people joining together to do events. We do want to make succeeding events what the game is about. We also do want to make events in the future even more challenging and in return more rewarding for succeeding. You will see changes over time to help directly encourage players to always want to try and succeed events. We don't ever want to create conflict between players who want to progress an event chain and those who want to fail it. It's bad for the game and not what Guild Wars 2 is all about.
Exactly
Lissah?
what we said. Exactly what we said last week. You know, we don't want to fail an event because that doesn't progress anything, and it's like pretty much anti-Guild Wars 2. However, you know, getting the extra rewards from failing is not a bad thing either. So I understand why they would make this statement. It's really important. It's a really important one. And I think people who are currently failing events and being complete douchebags about it will not be happy about the changes either way. But I think for the average player that's just farming like an hour or two a day, it's fine.
So, Evie, what are some ways do you think that they could resolve the issue in the in this, where failing an event is better than, for example, the main one is there's this one event that respawns every 10 minutes if you fail it. It respawns every 2 hours if you succeed, and that event just spawns champions out the wazoo.
It does.
Well,
what's a
I
solution
could read
there?
a patch note real quick. Reduce the time to fail timer and increase the restart timer on the event to secure shank anchorage in the cursed shore.
Ah, there you go.
But
That's one way to do it. Triv, there's another thing that they've done with the massive events. How many champions are we seeing in these huge events that are spawning all over a zone?
I'm seeing at least one, usually two, sometimes three, and so therefore you have a bunch of people together. I don't know if it's spawning based on how many people are available in the area, or
Essentially,
Yeah.
what they added a few months ago is code into ore that allows them to spawn champions based on it basically added champion spawning into the part of the scaling of events. And so that's what we're seeing in these zones is champion scaling. Basically, it means more and more champions start showing up to fight the more and more players that are showing up. I think I killed 10 champions in one round in one event area. I
Yeah.
have 9 boxes in my beautiful inventory that is perfectly organized.
I know by the end of wave 1 through wave, I think it was 3 or 4 from the new events, I had accrued probably about 15 or so of those champion things from various champions that we'd killed on top of the bonus, and that was pretty awesome.
Nice. Get anything cool out of it?
I got one exotic, but a lot of inventory full messages for sure.
I was just thinking, maybe with, you know, having failed events, like, instead of rewarding you essentially just with finishing the event and moving on to the next one, you could actually add an additional, like, small reward on top of that, like an extra chest or something for completing it. Like the side chest that you get at the side of your screen. It could be something.
I'd honestly like to see, and I don't care how people be like, that's too many, that's too many. At least a rare of some sort from the events and ore that are like chains. When you finish the chain, rare. Finish another chain, rare. Finish this chain, rare. That are not the temples, of course, because they already give rares.
So would you also then give rares for completing the defend events to
Yes.
keep the chain at the final captured?
Yes.
Do you think that would help keep ore constantly fully pushed for the Vanguard Vigil pact?
It would
or
help,
bug?
but it won't completely fix it because obviously there's, never always going to be people there. But yeah, I mean, help a lot.
Interesting. Lifespartan also suggested that they massively nerfed gauntlet farming too.
Yes, you can. The clockwork boxes or whatever that you get don't give money anymore, and you can only get a reward once per boss in the gauntlet per day.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
It's
Although-
not. I mean, it was way too much money going into the economy. I know people that made at least 200, 300 gold a day farming Deadeye.
Yeah. The interesting thing is, moving on to the economy, John Smith has been posting some interesting things on the on Guild Wars 2, specifically in relation to a Reddit thread where someone was asking how much does the richest player in game have, and a lot of people were posting on that. They're like, "Oh yeah, I've got 100,000 gold. I've got 250,000 gold. Here's pictures and stuff to prove it." And John Smith came out and he said that the only one that he would believe, from the numbers he's seen, is the 11,000 gold person. Does that suggest that there's no one with over 200,000 gold in game? That doesn't seem. Lissah? Evie?
I don't know. I think it's possible, but I'm sure they know the internal numbers and what's real and what's fake. So him coming out and saying that, he's probably right. But that doesn't mean that people haven't spent 100,000 in game.
Yeah, that's my point. They might not have that money, but they've probably
might have
circulated
spent
it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because if you have 11K, you could easily circulate out 100,000.
Yeah.
Over time.
Interesting. So you think that Dr. Legendary is still a real person then, Evie?
Oh yeah, I know him personally.
Totally.
Oh, okay. So you've seen all of these legendaries.
Mhm.
Can he join us in the guild and just show them off at some point? I just kind of want to stand there with Shungoku and be like, can we get him I want to buy him a rename token so that he can get on his Guardian and rename his Guardian Dr. Legendary.
That would be amazing.
Well,
I will buy him a rename token.
he has one of every profession.
Well, see? I will buy him a rename token,
Which he
even though
leveled
he
through
doesn't
crafting,
need it.
I'd like to point out.
Well, it's only it's like $35 to level through crafting, and if you spent $20,000 on the game,
Pretty sure it wouldn't be too hard to level through crafting that way
Yeah.
if you have that much money going into the game. See, I could believe he's put. Oh yeah, I can believe that he put out 100,000 into the economy. I wouldn't believe if he had 100,000 just sitting on his account, but I'm betting he has put more than 100,000. Yeah.
So, do you think that they're watching the wealth distribution curve fairly closely and trying to tweak it or...
I hope so.
That would be the point of having an economist, yes?
I thought it was just to, let him experiment.
Unless Wiz is, being sponsored by some university to,
That'd be cool.
see economies.
It's true.
That happened with WoW for a little while, didn't it?
I think so. I know WoW doesn't have an economist anymore, but they did. EVE has one. WildStar has one. A lot of the new MMOs that are coming out have some form of economist, which is interesting. Here's another one. Here's why Evie is poor. John Smith talked about the average weekly income of players in-game, and he said that, let me rephrase that. It isn't average, but it is a median, which is interesting that he used that. He said the median player earned less than 3 gold in the new content. And that's over the last, week and a half, 2 weeks?
See, I guess
but that's discounting all the players who earn less than 1 gold. A lot of people have lost money with this content. A lot.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why have they lost money?
Depreciation of value.
Is that one reason why the token items are so expensive?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you're pulling 7 gold out at a time from buying, the Sigils of Malice and stuff. Oh, that's why they're so expensive. They're draining the economy of gold because it's a gold sink. Fascinating. I'm gonna go have to help that gold sink out at some point. Yeah, go ahead, Lissah.
Sorry, the only thing that is funny about that is because we always see these super farmers that are constantly farming. Those people are obviously making more than 3 gold, but they're always the loudest people to announce that they've made more than 3 gold. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that the quiet people who just come and go from the game are only making 3 gold a week.
Now, that
doesn't surprise me at all. So
yeah, the interesting thing is that he selected median as opposed to mean amount of gold value, because mean is where you add it all up, divide it by the number of people that you're samples, and that's how much mean gold is being made by players per week. By selecting median, he can just say that, okay, well, half of the players are making less than 3 gold, the other half are making more than 3 gold. If there's like 10 people making 100,000 gold per week, that mean is going to be way higher than 3 gold.
The mean's probably somewhere like 300 gold.
It's got to be something obscene. And I think it's interesting that he chose not to do the mean, which is what you... Isn't that what you should talk about when you're talking about economy? Or should it be median when you're talking about economies that are this size?
I think with the global community being how it is, probably not. Because the average player is not going to be making 300 gold a week. The average player. Not somebody who's on 24 hours a day like some of my guildies.
It really depends on what point he's trying to get across. Yeah. If he's trying to get the point across of this is what most players are making, then the median works. If he wants to get the point across of, oh, this is how much gold is going into the economy, then he completely missed the mark.
Which I don't think he seems very purposeful in the way that he brings things up, especially when he goes into like his economist speak, and I'm just like, you are using words in English. I do not fully understand what you're trying to communicate to me. Apparently, I need to go get like a economist business degree thing so I can actually understand it. I think it's fun to read. I do thoroughly enjoy it. So that's very interesting stuff there. It'll be interesting to see sort of where the economy goes with this and sort of where prices go. Have you guys been following Powerful Bloods?
They're expensive.
They are still at 33 silver a pop. They have not changed value with this obscene number.
I can tell you why, though.
Why is that?
Because there isn't a troll farm or any sort of farm that drops. Like, compare it to, like, for example, the claws, which have gone from about 20 20 silver each to about, what are they now, like 6 silver a pop?
Yeah.
Because the destroyers drop the claws, where if you had something like trolls and one of those little pie wedges over in the pavilion, then you would definitely have value go down.
Yes. Interesting. So that as well, how have charged lodestones, which are sort of actually, I guess charged lodestones are what we should talk about, because that is the ectoplasm of Guild Wars 2, in reference to Guild Wars 1 ectoplasm, which was like the alternate currency.
I'd actually compare them with like rubies.
Really? Okay. Really? But no, rubies aren't used in everything in Guild Wars 1. Charged cores are used in everything.
No,
like
ectos are used in everything in Guild Wars 2.
Ectos actually went up.
That's true, and ectos are used in different things. Are used in only one set of armor in Guild Wars 2, or in Guild Wars 1.
But people use them as a currency, you're right. They'd be like 15k plus X amount of ectos for like their selling points. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So then the question would be what has changed with charged lodestones? Because that's used in tons of stuff, but it's the super rare thing. Up, down, constant. Guild Wars 2 Spidey. GW 2 Spidey.
I think they're still around 2 gold or so, right? Which is about the value they were before.
Yeah, they haven't changed much.
Okay. Interesting. I'll have to keep my eye on that market. Get back to you guys.
And the biggest thing I've noticed is that ectos have gone up.
They have.
Really? Why?
Yeah, they went up like 5 silver. I don't know. I think there are people controlling that part of the market, honestly.
Actually, no, I don't think so. I think what's happening is, think about it this way. People have been getting tier 3 mats, lots of them, to the point where it's getting cheaper on the market. So you're buying that, and you're looking at it going, and ecto and rares have not had a significant increase in the numbers of drops we're seeing. Maybe a little bit increase, but not huge. So your ecto rate incoming into the economy is still not insanely high, but you're getting all these cheaper tier 3 mats. And so what's happening is people are looking at that and they're saying, oh, I can start working on X exotic weapon skin that uses ectos and 30 other things. Or, oh, I can start working towards my legendary. So they start pouring it into the Mystic Forge to get the clovers and all that other stuff. So ectos are being pulled out of the economy actually faster because people are saying, oh, I can start working on this because I have the money, and because of the inflation, because there's more gold in the actual market itself, ectos, which are apparently the baseline of our economy, are responding to that inflation.
And on top of that, a lot less people are doing meta events because they're too busy doing other things pertaining to the living world.
Which does not feed us, which reduces the actual flow in of rares, because you will get maybe 1 or 2 rares from doing but you'll get far fewer rares doing the champion farm and the pavilion farm than you would by farming meta events.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is different now that we have the current meta events going, so we will probably see a drop in price on ectos again, back down to probably about 15 silver.
That would be nice.
I may or may not have unloaded my ectos already, so...
Oh, I should do that. Good call.
I'm just waiting to see.
Yeah, they're about 20 silver now, so...
Oh,
just wait for it. The precursors will require an entire stack of ectos, guys. And it'll shoot the price up.
Well, you know, a legendary requires about 2.5 stacks.
Yeah.
Depending on how lucky you are with clovers. So a lot of people who have been getting precursors have probably been buying them, because I know a lot of people who actually did.
I think I hear a tornado, but whatever.
Oh, also, Erik, I don't know if you saw this in chat, but Elsif said, I find myself wondering if the knowledge of there being an economist has to do with the psychological effect on how people play.
I think
and maybe
a little bit.
That's why he didn't give the, mean instead of the median. Because that would put a psychological effect into how people play. They actually want people to enjoy it, rather than, be busting their butts grinding.
What? The whole
podcast,
the whole
podcast is messed up.
Yeah.
Wait for it. Stay on target. Bam. What am I doing? I'm trying to sell my ectos.
Oh, jeez.
Here we go. I said I was going to go do that right now.
Well, you confused the...
I did. They were like, what's going on? It's because I was hoping someone would detect that, oh, he's logged into Guild Wars 2 and is wandering over to the bank.
No, all you could see was, our little places that were supposed to be, and then, something else going on behind it.
I have, no ectos. I have, 30
I saw the
ectos.
world map.
That's so pitiful. There's my charged lodestones. Let's see if I can buy more of those. This is how we do the economy show, people. Yeah. Let's see. Ectos, 24 silver.
And they will see your horrible inventory.
What? There you go, people. Okay. I'll do that later. That was actually more of a joke. Nah. Back we go. So...
It's still messed up.
Insane bunny trails. Oh my goodness. So now we are moving on to In Dub v Dubstep with Devin Carter. I named that section. I'm super proud of that. Yeah. So Dub v Dubstep.
Yeah, we're all clearly impressed, as you see.
So anyways, Devin Carter is the guy who's in charge of World vs. World. And so he's been talking about a few interesting things. One person brought up ideas of having World vs. World Borderlands based on your server name. So Northern Shiver Peaks would get a Borderlands set in the Northern Shiver Peaks. Kaineng would get a Borderlands set in Cantha. Those sorts of things. And so they would create... Huh?
I'm just so we're getting Cantha if we're on Kaineng?
So, yes. So everyone goes there because they're like, we want to play on Cantha. Well, no, here's the thing, though. You just make sure you're fighting Kaineng a lot. So that you can actually go there and hang out, too.
Wouldn't that mean that Jade Quarry would have siege turtles?
Yeah, this must happen now.
Siege turtles!
Now, the thing is... Devin Carter did respond and say, okay, we have 51 different servers with, large amounts of different areas called out. So it would be unfeasible. It would take us years to generate balanced maps. So his response was, when and if we start on additional home maps, we will very much be looking to vary the gameplay and feel of them. It is my hope that each new Borderland will improve upon the previous and if we do well enough, we might be able to have enough to build a rotation. This is a long way off, if ever, though. We will definitely be looking for ways to make new maps unique, no matter how many we make. And that is one thing. What do you think about that, Lissah?
Cool. I think it would be cool. I don't know how long it would take them, or if it would take like a whole nother expansion just to add all of those different maps, but it would be really neat if we could play on something unique to our server.
That would be interesting. Triv, what do you think about adding more maps to WW? Do you think that's an important thing, or are you ambivalent?
I think it would make it much more exciting to actually explore the world if all 3 of the Borderlands weren't completely identical. Yes. Especially because you have to watch all of the, well, you don't technically have to, but all of the vistas. And every time that I watched it after the first time, I'm like, I feel like I've seen this before.
That is definitely, and that is one thing that they said, is they want to get at least 3 different Borderlands, I believe, at some point. They have said that they also want to add more maps. Like, actually expand the place that you're fighting over. So you have more areas to fight over, which I think would be interesting. I have crabs?
Because you're, with the crabs.
I will be right back. My power went out, and let me connect this lamp to my battery.
That's why it's dark. How is your computer still on?
That's what I was wondering too, actually.
Battery.
Interesting. So while Evie is doing that, we will continue our dubstep conversation. He talked about the commander system, which we talked about last week.
Yep.
Because that's what's happening. We talk about something on Relics of Ore, and it gets into the community, and they just start, and people just start thinking about it because we were trendsetters. Actually, I think he actually answered this question 3 or 4 months ago, and more we're just saying things. He talked about, actually it was this week sometime. The commander system is only on the barest hint of what we would like it to be in the long term. There are a lot of things that should be better, including the visibility of squads, and we will make sure to not only incorporate feedback we see on the boards, but also actively seek out feedback as we flesh out the system in the future. Triv, how do you feel about the current commander system, and what do you think? Since both Lissah and Evie talked about it last week, what would you like to see in the commander system?
I think the commanders, at least as far as I'm concerned, to me are more of just a title and a little icon, and I look at them and I say, oh, they spent 100 gold. And I think that's how a lot of people feel about it, instead of thinking about somebody that they should really listen to and follow. As for the whole squad thing, I've personally never joined a squad ever, and that's including doing massive group content. So I think that really needs to be worked on.
I think we've done squads a few times with Spirit, and I'm thinking of grabbing a commander title just because it would probably be good. When you join a squad, can you see your entire squad on the map, everyone in the squad? Do you get green dots for that in the zone? Is that something that happens? Can someone...
I don't have a commander tag, so I wouldn't know.
I don't either. I'm broke, so...
And that's why we should bring Spirit on the show again at some point,
I should have a commander tag out of principle because I have Jennifer Hale as my voice actress.
Everyone says no in chat that you don't.
Well, oh, okay. That's unfortunate. We really need to be able to see everyone. That's sort of like a critical thing. Like, visibility of your squad should be like the first thing that they implement. Because then when you're doing large, like, guild raid content, you can just look and, yeah, it's okay, you see the commander tag, but it'd be nice to see, like, maybe if you split off and said, well, okay, you guys go over here and you guys go over here, you can look at it and say, okay, there's a group there and a group there and a group there. And then, if someone, like, for example, when we're hunting the bounties in... Apparently this is Shongaku Talk episode. When we're hunting bounties, it would be really nice if you went to a zone and the person who found it doesn't have to have a commander tag so that everyone knows where it is. They can just be sitting there and you can look and you could say, oh, you're there? Oh, there's your little green dot. Bam, you go to them, done. Personally, I think they should just add that for guilds.
Yep.
Your guild leader should get it, like, period. I think because, especially with how we do things in our guild, if Tillian had it, it would be the best thing in the world.
I think that
then we could be like, Beacon, Tillian's right here.
I think that you could buy a tome of the commander for 50 guild merits and 100,000 influence.
That would be awesome.
And then maybe instead of it being a blue icon, maybe have it be something like a gold icon for the guild.
Or it's your guild colors. Or it's your guild symbol on the map.
That would be kind of helpful, actually.
Yeah,
so
because
then everybody in the guild who is participating would be able to just go there without us having to...
Well, think about what you could do in WV. Now, you could actually split out, like, 10-man, 15-man groups, and you say, okay, you guys are going with this guild, and then you follow that commander icon. Everyone else, they say, you're going with this guild, and they follow that commander icon. And I agree with Spirit. I want to face fire on the map. And then, when we need to, like, split our guild and stuff in PvP, in WW, you just, like, switch over to, like, an alt guild that you have or something. Or we could have Pig on one group. We could have Dragon Season coming in to back us up on another. Actually, that wouldn't work because we would be trying to kill each other because we're on different servers. But, you know, that sort of thing. And Spirit's right in chat. It would bring recognition to guilds. It would you could see, oh, this guild is always commanding, and then you could figure out who the best guild commanders are. And so whenever you see that, you can be like, well, okay, those guys are morons. They have no clue what they're doing, and they're mean. And they made me cry last time I played with them. And so then you get this, but then you see the other icon, and you're like, those guys were so awesome. They like I showed up, and they shot off fireworks, and there was a group hug, and then we went and murdered a bunch of people. It was fantastic. And that's what happened in WW.
It could be like RO in Guild Rushes, where we escort 2 or 3 guilds through the rush.
It's true.
It's like, why don't you jump here? Jump.
Spiders, guys, they teleport.
Oh, that's the funnest one.
It's so amazing how many people just, like, walk off the edge.
Oh, there's recent data mines. I don't think we're going to discuss data mines on the show because it makes ANET angry.
Well, that, and they're going to try and get rid of that altogether, probably.
So they're going to make a much slimmer client?
I think they said maybe possibly encrypting.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah, no, you can hack that once you figure out. But, I mean, you have the actual physical
but it will make
file.
it one step harder for people. So hopefully they'll be more off-put by doing it. Because knowing everything in advance is kind of...
boring.
It gets boring. Like, you never are surprised by the content. Like, people have overviews of everything before it even comes up. That's so lame. It's wow to me. Because everything is on the PTR. And you get to do it all before it comes out. And that just gives advantages to people who have way too much time on their hands.
Plus, I would think it makes it harder for ArenaNet in case, for the rare circumstance that they change their mind about something.
Exactly. There's never any secrecy. If they change their mind, it's already there, and people will be like, "But it was in the PTR, or it was in the notes." You know, it's the same crap. I don't want that being dragged into this game too.
It was in the data file. Speaking of interesting things in data files, there's been a lot of speculation over the BIG PAX reveal. So, there's a lot of different things. What do you guys think it is? Triv, Colin has said that it's not an expansion. What do you think the BIG PAX reveal is? Should I actually, like, try and eat my microphone and talk deeply when I do that?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the BIG PAX reveal.
I can tell you what I want it to be, but that's just what I want it to be and not what I actually think it is. And you know,
let's do both. What do you want it to be? What do you think it is? First of all,
I want it to be hard mode anything or rating, but I know it's probably not going to be. It's wishful thinking.
Speaking of which, are we going to send you to the PAX party for ArenaNet? Can we, like, figure out some way to actually have you go to that and, like, talk to people? Being as you live, like, 5 feet away from Seattle.
Or 5 feet, otherwise known as 20-minute drive.
She's actually
could be a way
closer
that
to
it could
NX
be
Studios
arranged.
than she is to Seattle. Just want to point that out.
No, now people can stalk her in real life, Evie. Good work. That's why I said 5 feet away from Seattle. Because that's, like, a big area. Oh. By the way, I'm in Tucson, so come stalk me. No, don't stalk me. Bad internet. Bad.
I am not telling anyone
He's
where
wanting to be stalked.
There's like 100 people here.
Ladies, he's looking to be stalked. Oh, jeez.
That would be an interesting period of my life. Anyway, so Triv, We need to send you to that at some point. We'll
What day of the week is it on? Did we find out?
we will find out for you by clicking on it right here and going to the web page. It is August 31st.
Which is?
The 2013.
It's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
Okay. If it's a Saturday, yeah, I can actually go.
It is at the... Come celebrate with ArenaNet on Saturday, August 31st, as we take over the Madison Ballroom in downtown Seattle's Renaissance Hall. You know what? I'm just going to bam over to there and bam. Now you guys can see it. How's it look on chat? Clean? Hopefully. So there it is. There's a welcome address. It goes on for like 3 hours. I don't know how you actually get a ticket for this. Does anyone know how to get a ticket for this?
I think there's just a line because last year when people went, there was just a line.
Ah, okay. So it's just a line.
It was around the block for the ArenaNet party.
So you'll have to camp out.
Yeah. Prepare to camp.
Oh my goodness.
But
I don't even have a tent. You know what? I'd probably just stay up all night and bring some Cheetos or something.
And some Red Bull, Cheetos and Red Bull.
Yes.
So if I
Sitting
email
on the sidewalk.
ArenaNet, okay, I'm going to try and get you in on this, Triv, if you're cool with that. I will contact them and see what I can do.
Talk to Peter Freeze and see what he knows.
I will. I will say that Relics of War wants to send someone.
Oh, and another person you could get in touch with. I'll talk to you about that later.
Excellent.
You're welcome.
Oh, it's
Have
their
fun,
siege
Triv.
turtle.
I'm jealous. I would go.
So that's what we talk about on this show. But moving on, okay, so you think that you want hard mode. What else? What do you think it's going to actually be as far as the reveal goes, Triv?
I can only say off of what's been data mined and stuff. I mean, they could announce new weapons because I know that they've been talking about introducing new weapons and more weapons for classes and stuff. It could be that they're... You know what? They could be announcing skills that are coming out because they did announce that was happening too.
That's true. Evie, what do you want it to be? What do you think it will be?
I want it to be a living story expansion, which is not technically expansion, where we go to a new area and we get new weapons and there's like amazing group content and guild housing and like a whole bunch of stuff. But realistically speaking, I'm actually going to go with Triv on this one and just new skills.
All right, Lissah, what do you think it's going to be and what do you want it to be?
Well, I'd like it to be pretty much... I'd love to see new skills because it's getting a little stale right now, you know? And
How can you say that? There is a skill called Epidemic in the game, and it's amazing.
Yeah, but
what else do you need?
we're not all necros.
Oh, well, that was just a poor decision at the beginning of your character's life.
I love my
And
best
let's be
thank you very
honest,
much.
a lot of people have been
think-
running pretty much the same build since launch.
It's so true. I'd love to see new weapons. I'd love to see new skills. I'd like to see them announce that they're going to open up new content or possibly a little more information on what they think a raid might be. I'd love to see that because as much as I love how the game is right now, I would love to see wider, more open content for guilds of our size, you know, that include more people besides just the challenges and stuff.
We have had issues where we get everyone to come together in Relics of War for the guild events, but then once you've done all the guild events,
Everybody goes.
everyone leaves because there's nothing else to do. It's not like, hey guys, okay, now we're all going to go run a dungeon, or we've tried jumping into Dub v Dub, but that's just our guild
A lot
is
of people
not.
just aren't interested.
Yeah,
and
it's so it'd be nice to have like, okay, now we're going to finish off the evening. We're going to cap it by trying to kill Doom in the underworld.
That'd
Which
be
we-
awesome.
We could actually do that, technically. We'd all have to log into Guild Wars 1 and get 8 people together and go do that. But we have like 50 people, so we'd have to have like 5 runs. So
That would be awesome.
that would actually be kind of cool.
I'd do it.
So
I'd do it. I'd join you.
Doom races. You guys
Yes!
didn't do that?
Do it. Let's do it.
I have never actually finished the Underworld.
I haven't either.
Nor have I finished the Deeper Urzgaz's Warren. I know. It's sad.
Let's do Guild Wars 1 content, guys. That'd be fun.
You guys should stream running me through at some point. I'm pretty confident that apparently all I have to do is log in and go up to Pig and be like, so, I hear you guys know how to run the Underworld. Evie's just looking at me with, I'm sorry, Evie. I have failed.
You might have to work a little bit.
At some point, I should probably start working on Guam again. But Guild Wars 2. Anyways, what do I think that it's going to be? Let's see. Or what do I want it to be? Personally, Reddit had a fantastic idea for guild and player housing, wherein they put guild housing in the world. And you go up to it and you can buy it, but it's rented. And then what happens is people will go, but it's instance on some level, where it is instance, and then whoever has like a certain like highest ranking or highest value input into their guild house or their player house will then become the open world version of it, and people can go in and check it out. And then in order to get to your instance version, you have to run through theirs into like the central plaza of their guild hall, and then it will port you into your guild hall, or you can waypoint to it. And the same thing with player neighborhoods, is you'd have like 3 or 4 player neighborhoods, and the fanciest player neighborhoods would be able to, or maybe like at the end of every week, everyone would go through and like vote on the coolest player neighborhoods. The cool thing with that is you could have the players who really want open world housing could work towards getting open world housing, because they would be able to build towards that. Whereas other people who just want to play with their instance house would still have access to the instance house. I think that would be what I would love to see in the game, is that sort of mix. Or seeing ArenaNet announce that we can now claim places in ore for our guild. That's what I want to see. Those are the 2 things. I've been obsessing about them for like 3 or 4 months now. That's what I want. What do I think I'm going to hear? What will probably be told is that they're going to announce the royal wedding in the living story, and it's going to be Ritlock and Jenna, as we all know it has to be. So, nothing really surprising there. Other than that, they do have discussions on chat without me. They were discussing the fact that legendaries could be coming out, the new legendaries. There is a possibility of seeing pole arms actually finally making it into the game. They were pulled out pre-launch. The code was left in, so apparently they were rather close to being functional. But Arena decided that it was one too many weapons, or possibly they were doing, they were being redundant with the pole arms.
Or they couldn't give it to enough professions, and there was no role for it to fill. But now that the meta's finally evolved to a certain point, they're like, okay, we can put it in for this role.
Yeah, we will not be. Also, Colin has said on the forums that we will not be seeing legendary gear anytime this year. That will not be something.
That doesn't mean they can't announce it at PAX.
That doesn't mean that. Yeah, exactly. I think when
they go to PAX and they announce something that's going to come out in 2014,
they do
Why
that.
not?
Yes,
they do that. That's not unusual for games companies to be.
I guess they did kind of go to PAX at one point and announce Guild Wars 2, and then waited 2.5 years to release it. So
yes,
actually, they announced it in a magazine 5 years before they released it.
It's true.
Do you remember when the magazine?
3 copies of that magazine.
Me too. I bought 5.
Because they had the little Azura mini pet that you could get.
Yeah,
and I was
the
like,
mini
yes,
destroyer.
yes.
And
Oh,
the
that
mini
was
destroyer.
right. The mini destroyer is what you got. Yeah, so I gave one to all my friends. I found
me too.
it was fantastic.
All my European friends that I was on a server with, and Australian friends, it was great.
Was it PC Gamer? I thought PC Gamer had the mini Azura. There was another one. It was this
3
random magazine that had the mini destroyer in it. And I was like, I've never read this magazine. I just bought it.
I'm pretty sure there were 2 editions of PC Gamer that had pets, but anyway, yeah, that's not the point. Nerding out.
Mini pets. Polymach. That's what I want them to announce. Done. Polymach with all of the new minis that they've released.
That seems kind of small for a PAX announcement.
Yeah.
It's Don't judge Polymach. It's amazing.
It's amazing, but it's a mini game.
Okay, fine.
I think they should announce Polymach with rewards of legendary armor with Polymach. Yep.
Oh my gosh, this was so long ago. Oh my gosh. But they had several different editions that had those, Eric. Like, because there was the one that was like the dinosaur pet.
That's
Do you
true. Oh,
remember
the
that one?
Ceratodon, the one that I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I wish I had. That was like
I
a
had
Wii
like
U
3 of
only.
them. I have like 3 of them because I traded people.
Oh
Yeah.
man, Polymock. Maybe someday someone will make like a
It's like
browser version of
Pokemon.
it. Well, yeah, it is. Triv, would
It's
you
fun.
play? Would you, if Polymock was a combination of like XCOM strategy game mixed with Pokemon, where you had to go out into the world and collect them, and then like build a team of 5 that would then go and fight other players' teams of 5? Would you play that?
Absolutely. I'd
On,
have
like,
a reason to whip up my glow-in-the-dark chainsaw skeleton.
Yeah, see, that's the
Yes.
thing, is it would be fantastic. And then you get, like, you could create, like, you can't create Divinity's Reach yet, but you could create all, like, these cool teams and stuff. It'd be fantastic.
I would have a use for my 250 risen priests of Balthazar. I have a small army behind me of just risen priests.
Oh my god!
Or would rise again.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Oh,
Oh god.
I love the fact you have, I have 10 of them, and you have
7.
250.
I have 7 and I thought that was bad. What in the balls, dude?
Well, first of all, RNG hates Evie is something that we should establish. That's one reason why he's poor. Like, the RNG passionately wants him to die as a person, apparently, because
As a poor person.
you've only opened, what, like 400 Orion jewelry boxes?
No, I've opened probably like somewhere closer to 1,000. Not quite 1,000, closer.
That's still funny.
It's still,
But
that means
still, a
1/4
fourth
of
of them
are
had a
giving.
freaking priest in it.
I'm sorry, that's freaking funny.
That's amazing. I approve. I don't approve. That's sad. We apologize. Oh my
This is why whenever I hear about like more RNG boxes and like weapons, I'm just like, well, I'm not even gonna look at them.
This is something we should bring up again. You know how I was all excited last week because I was like, no more RNG for this patch? Well, I was lying to myself. They have just released Celestial weapons, which are actually kind of cool. They're not so cool that I want to spend $50 to get them. Because remember,
They're not the Celestial weapons from Guild Wars 1.
They're
so
not. They're
They're
based
Zodiac
on...
weapons.
Zodiac, you're right. That is correct.
are not as good looking as the Zodiac weapons from back in Guild Wars 1, though.
No,
So
they're not.
remember, it's
I'm
about...
really disappointed.
Yeah, it's what, about $50 per... How much is it on average, Evie, per weapon? 50?
It averages out to $50 for one ticket.
So if you look at it and you think that's worth $50 to me, that's going to be how you want to price them. So
Yeah.
keep that
Which
in
I want to
mind.
point out is like half the price of a legendary.
Yeah,
No.
that's bad.
Well,
It's not
no,
quite. Actually, a legendary is a lot
not
more.
half the price. Bleh, like 20% the price. No,
Yeah, because a legendary
I
is...
percentage.
Okay, so if it's
About a
1,000...
fourth.
So
Maybe.
if it's $50, that means that its in-game value is theoretically 100 gold or so.
But
Should
they're
be
only
about
going
100
for
gold.
63 gold.
So
or
if you're
so.
going to get them, buy them off of the auction house.
Yes, if you
Because-
have that kind of money, do it. If
Yeah.
you want it.
So if they're all around 50 gold, they're actually, that means that they're half priced if you converted if buy just $25 worth of gems, convert it to gold, and buy one off the auction house if you want one.
Yeah, if you want to go
It's-
that route.
That's half the
yeah.
price, and you could buy a new video game for that. But there you go. That's the best option. Now we
Or like
do
5
have.
indie games.
That's true.
Support indie developers, other than ArenaNet. That
Which is
isn't an
technically
indie
they're not
developer.
an indie because they're a wholly owned subsidiary of NCSoft.
Yeah.
They were an indie at one point, and they were. It was a sad story. You should look it up. Anyways, and to finish off, the podcast this evening, we're going to talk about the community and what is going on with that. First of all, Lissah, tell us about Pink Day LA. What is it?
Yes.
When is it happening?
This is our little fun every year in October. We celebrate together, we get together, have prizes, there's a live stream, there's charity events, there's tons of stuff, ways to donate, and all of it is going towards cancer researching. It's, I think, through cancer, one of the Cancer Canada things. I can't remember the exact charity off the
Breast
top of my head.
cancer. I think it's what
Yeah.
breast cancer.
That, yes, it's breast cancer, but it's in Canada. I can't remember who they said it was through. Tillian, help me. But yeah, they're doing it through Gwen. I don't know if you know that guild or if you follow them, but they basically have these big parties over several platforms, not just Guild Wars 2. They had it in Guild Wars 1. They're converting it over to Guild Wars 2. It's in Rift, it's in WoW, it's in a bunch of different games, and it just gets gamers and community together.
The Multiple Sclerosis Society?
No, I thought they were doing cancer. That's what Pink Day
is
was
for
for.
breast cancer awareness.
Yeah,
Because October.
that's what I
and whatnot.
thought.
What
Yeah,
year?
that's what
When is it happening?
It's October, and what days are they going, Tillian, off the top of your head? Because I don't have it written down, and I don't know where to pull it.
I just know that the volunteer meeting was the 17th.
Yeah,
So
I wasn't able to make that, but
Fortuitously, I've got you guys' back. Yo.
yeah, Toga Party is the MS Society one.
Here we go.
October 19th.
All right, Pink Day LA 2013 volunteer meeting number 1. I'm not sure if well, no, anyone can see this on the
Yeah, it's on the webpage.
So if you want to volunteer, so the first volunteer meeting is August 17th, which already happened. But they have information about it, and you can learn more about... Oh, here we go. Pink Day, Gamer Giving Back. Dang, there we go. All right. Pink Day LA, volunteer meeting number 1. There will be more information. So you go to pinkday.gamergivingback.com, and you can learn more about it. It is going to be in 59 days, which is October sometime. And let's see if we can get about 07, 08, 012. There we go. There's information about it. And it is for
Breast cancer.
breast cancer, and let's see, do we have the actual company listed here? Canadian Cancer Society.
That's the one. There we go. I knew it was Canadian. I just couldn't remember which one it was.
As Triv slowly begins to drift to sleep.
No, I'm listening. I'm just trying to look at everything, and yeah, my poor brain is lagging.
Yeah, and they're giving away a lot of nice things. They always give away really great gifts when you donate. Last year they gave away really nice SteelSeries mouse pads. They're giving away the pocket watches.
Ooh, what are these pocket watches?
Is that the same one that Richie Procopio had?
No, actually, it's not.
Is it a different one?
It's a fancier one. Richie's Procopio's one didn't work. They only sent 2 out that actually worked, as far as I know, I believe. Oh, it's the same.
It's the same one, isn't it?
I don't think so, because I believe they sent 1 to Guru, and they sent 1 to Dragon Season, didn't they? And that was it? Because Richie is massively, and Guildcast.
It's not the same one.
Yeah, no, they had 2 different ones. They sent really these are amazing watches that they sent to you guys. Dragon Season described it to me. Apparently, it's a full classic watchwork watch. Which
so it's pretty sweet.
It is a fantastic, this is an heirloom quality watch. It is beautiful workmanship. You can see the picture. No battery. It is purely wind up clockwork classic watch. It is very cool.
And that's something you can win if you donate. And I'm not sure what the donation levels are for that, or if there's going to be a donation level for that. But it's a great prize, and it's something you can look forward to if you donate to a great cause. So
yep.
I would do it.
So definitely, we will keep you guys updated as we get closer and closer to Pink Day LA, and Relics of War will hopefully be helping out in that some way if we have time.
You can all come to the party, even if you don't actually donate. You can come to the parties in the LA districts that we're at and still participate and dye your clothes pink. That's fun. So
so Dragon Season is taking care of the EU side, and Guru is going to be taking care of the North American side. So depending on where you are, check with them for your region specific information.
Yeah, you can get in contact with me in game, and then I can put you in contact with Tillian.
Cool. And you guys are also, Dragon Season is having a big festival coming up here. What's that all about?
It's our 1-year anniversary coming up really soon, and so we're going to have a party. We're going to have it in LA at the beach, and it's going to be Friday, August 23rd at 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
CEST.
All right, which is GMT plus 3?
Plus 3, yes.
Okay. So if you're anywhere in the US, just look at what your number is. It's going to be -7 or -8 or -4. And what you'll do is then add that. So then add 4 to your time. And then add 3 onto that or whatever that number is. It's,
We actually have a time and date clock for it. If you'd like it, it'll convert to whatever time zone you're in.
There you go. So go to dragonseason.com and it will help you out.
Right there.
Or you can do the math.
It. Yeah, I posted it in the chat, so they'll have it if they really want to show up. It's a lot of fun, and you guys are all welcome to come visit, or if you have EU accounts, to come and play with us. We love it.
I do have an EU account.
Yes.
I'll have to look into
It's on Aurora Glade EU, and you can get in contact with any Dragon Season member to get invited. We can get you in.
And there's the time and date for where I am, but let's go to dragonseason.com. That's Dragon.
I put a link in the forums, or in our little notes.
Where is it?
I put Moo. That's my note. You click on it, and there it is.
There we go.
My note says Moo. I thought you would click on it and know it was a link, but apparently not.
I'm using the show notes are open on my tablet.
They were kind of screwy when I opened them up on my phone, so
because he's all fancy.
I'm all fancy. It's true. All right, another cool thing that has come out in the community, Evie, you mentioned at the beginning, is the 24-hour Twitch stream of PvP. Tell us about that. Just go into full details. What exactly is going on with that?
Well, they have a Twitch stream at Guild Wars 2 PvP TV that is on Twitch, of course, because everyone streams on Twitch. And some very well-known PvPers are just kind of rotating through and streaming. I mean, it's pretty simple, really. And they'll commentate, they'll reply to chat. They're actually really responsive, if not a little ragey at times. Especially when it comes to Rangers.
Ragey?
Yeah, ragey.
That's great.
They occasionally smash things. All right. Cool. Definitely check that out. Twitch.tv/Guild Wars 2 PvP TV. Just Google that, probably, and if you spell it wrong, Google will fix it and be like, it's here. That's how I find it, because I'm really bad at the spelling. Actually, no, I'm competent, but it's easier. Google solves all of my problems. Anyways, Relics of War is working on something cool coming out here in the next few weeks. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is. Whispers of it have been flittering across Twitter and stuff. We are going to try and keep it a little bit on the lowdown. This breaking news, that's right, we're doing breaking news from Live Spartan. Thank you, Live Spartan. Apparently, they are going to do a temporary rollback for karma. So if you've burned all of your karma, what they're going to do is they're going to roll back your character's karma to before you burn through all your karma today. Did any karma today. They'll give you all of your jugs and everything back, and then they will allow you to use your boosts for the karma. So there you go. So definitely check that out. And that has been the show. Once again, I am Erik, joined by Lissah, Triv, and Evie. Thank you guys for watching. If you want more information, you can follow Relics of War at Relics of War on Twitter. You can check us out at relicsofwar.com. We also are on, of course, the Twitch stream that if you're watching it right now is twitch.tv/Relics of War. And we have more information on our website. Also, follow Lissah and her amazing cooking blog and other blogs on dragonseason.com. You can also follow her at LissahKins. And Evie, you recently got a Twitter account.
Twitter account.
Which
I literally made it right before the show.
He made it so soon that I do not have a new lower third for him with the whole Twitter thing. So what's your new Twitter account if people want to follow you on the interwebs?
At Evenus, which is Eveenus. It's pretty simple.
Wow, you actually got that?
Hmm?
Snap.
It's awesome.
Impressive. And
This
Triv,
picture is
do you
glorious.
want people following you on Twitter? Do you even Twitter? Do you tweet?
Do you tweet?
I have a Twitter account. I just haven't used it since I created it, pretty much. So
point.
I don't know. I wouldn't really be worth following.
Start using it more, and then you will be. We'll all follow you.
I know. I think it's because I'm old, and I'm like, what is this Twitter technology?
Old?
I can't handle it. Yes.
Old.
Says
I'm-
the 12-year-old.
Whatever. I'm 26, but anyway.
Says the youngest one here.
No, that's Evie.
Wait, that's Evie.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being on the show. We're gonna sign out. See you guys next week and or in game. Goodbye. Wave. That's what we do at the end. Really no waving, Triv?
It's fine. Just waving.
Little wave.
Spirit finger wave.
I see.
I know. I've been kind of wary of sweets for the past week or so because someone handed me a chocolate cookie and I bit into it and it was spicy. And I was just like, "What is this?"
Like the best kind of chocolate cookie ever.
Yeah.
That would be.
Speaking of cooking,
It has ghost peppers in it.
Relics of
Yeah.
Lore, brought to you by Not. Actually, we're not brought to you by
I like
Skippy
my
Peanut
sweet
Butter.
sweet.
Brought to you by
That's-
Skippy Peanut Butter on a Knife. Yes. Oh my god.
So the funny thing is,
Why
apparently,
are more people not watching this? Like, what the hell? This is entertaining as heck, man. Making a sandwich on a live stream for a podcast.
then it's a taco.
Oh,
Wait, a taco? What?
I'm just impressed that you have sandwich makings hidden under your desk. Honestly.
yeah, where did you pull those out from? Do you have a mini fridge or what the hell? Oh my god. Like, do you just keep peanut butter under your desk?
I
What the hell, Eric? Oh my gosh. He's gonna spit out his sandwich.